Welcome to the next episode of Rugby 365 TV. Today we've got South African and Stormers defence coach Jacques Inaba. Thanks for joining us. And of course we've got Howie Khan from Rugby 365 to add his input. Jacques, let's start. Defence coach. It's an interesting thing to get into. How did you get into that?
Crispin, I started basically as a physio, way back with the Lions. I was Russie's physio, and then when Russie took over the coaching part in Free State, Derek Kutsia went with Jake to the World Cup, and we didn't get a strength and conditioning coach. So he basically asked me if I would consider moving to strength and conditioning. I did a few courses. I went to strength and conditioning, and when I was part of that, we were very limited with staff, coaching staff. So Russie kind of pointed me in the direction of doing the defence there, because he did all that back. Narco, who was the manager, did the line-outs and the scrums, and Franco Smith, who was the backline coach, did all the skills and the kicking. So we all had to multitask because we were limited on staff. So that's how I got involved in defence coaching now.
Okay, and that wasn't that long ago. And you're not only a defence coach, you're a very good defence coach, because in the Rugby World Cup you had the least points against you guys. In this, you've had 2 Super Rugby seasons with the least points against you. How do you choose your strategy? I mean, is it based on team for team, or do you just go an all-out team strategy for your own team?
Look, we first of all, when I came to Province, we started creating a system. Myself and the players, and we got enough system going. So we got a basic structure that we follow. But we will look at different strategies against different teams. So we would tweak let's say we would tweak about 20% of our system going into different teams. But we've basically got a structure that we follow, which we know, which is probably working to our strength. But week to week we will analyse and do stuff a little bit differently.
Well, let's take the Springboks at the World Cup now. Howie, from a rugby perspective, how would you say the viewer would look at our defence?
Well, we've always sort of been known to use the rush defence, but I think at this World Cup, I think with Jacques' influence probably, and Jacques, you can help me here, did we maybe sort of mix things up a little bit? Did we use the sort of the drift defence, various other techniques? I mean, did you walk in there and sort of reinvent the wheel when you helped out with the Springboks?
Yes, when I started off, my first 2 weeks were basically from the start I said, listen, we're not going to adopt the Stormers defence system. I want to know your defence system. They were very hard off the line, more rushing than a drift defence, I would say. I think it's clear to one must understand that all defence systems, irrespective if it's a rush or if it's a drift defence, they use the same principles. It's just the emphasis, let's say, of line speed in a rush defence is a lot more than it would be from a drift defence perspective. So basically, I sat down the first 2 games. I had a look what they were doing and how they worked, and then we started working with the players. We said, listen, and we did change a little bit, or quite a few principles or emphasis on certain principles. The big thing for me there was, because you work with such talented players, the decision making for me was the key. And I said, listen, I won't tell you not to rush, I won't tell you to drift, but your decisions need to be, we need to have certain parameters. We can't rush if we don't have numbers, let's say, for instance, or stuff like that. So the big emphasis for me was because we have talented players who's been there longer than I've been before, or I've been. I mean, you got to trust them with their judgment and their decision making.
Now, what makes a good tackle? I mean, is it the try-saving tackle in the corner? Is it that tackle in the middle of the field which creates a turnover and the team runs and scores on the other side? I mean, do you rate a tackle according to how big a hit it is, or how effective and what it produces?
There's different tackles. Let's say, obviously, when a big ball carrier, if Kano runs at Skalkberger and Skalkberger puts him back 2 meters, that's a big tackle. I mean, because it makes a statement. But not only momentum stopping tackles make big statements. I think if you go and look back, we were down against Wales. We just conceded the try. We were down, I think by 6 points, and Wales had a line break through that big 8-man of them. And literally, physically over the line, Brian Abana did a cross-cover tackle, and he ripped the ball from the guy, he knocked it on, we got a scrum. But that would have put us 13 points behind. And even if you think back at that test we played here where we beat New Zealand in PE, I mean everybody said our defence wasn't that great because we scrambled well. But that scramble, I mean Brian Banner from the left wing or Hooghies from the right wing making a try-saving tackle in the corner, that also shows a lot of attitude, because the guy, the normal spectator sitting in the stand, if Hooghies or Brian decided not to even, it's not their job, it's 60 meters, the line break occurred 60 meters from them. If they decided no, they're not going to chase that guy, nobody would have even said, listen here, look at that guy's bad attitude. So for me, there's two types of attitude. There's a work rate attitude and a momentum stopping attitude, and yeah, that, for me, I see attitude in both those. Yeah.
Jacques, in your eyes, probably the best eyes for this kind of a question, who do you think is one of the best defenders out there, individuals?
If I look, I'm going to talk about the guys that I know best, which is probably the Stormers guys. When I look at Stormers defence and I look at what we should stand for, basically if I look at our captain, Scala, I mean, for me, if I look at what he does in a weekend in defence, I mean, that's what we would like to stand for, everybody. He's got a massive work rate, massive heart. He's prepared to play with pain. So, and I think if you look at Scala, that's what Stormers stands for. And a good defender will stand for, yeah.
Thanks, Jacques. It's been incredibly interesting to get insight from a defence guru like Jacques Naba. And of course, also thank you very much to you, 365, for being here. And as usual, well, it is our last episode in the series, but as usual, we're giving away some 80-0s, some Predators, and an All Black jersey as well.
We'll give the jersey to Jacques. He can take it out to Thomas practice with him.
As long as you wear it. Details are below, so thanks for joining us and take care until next time.